Matt Le Tissier occupies a peculiar place in the history of English football, a player whose talents were undeniable, yet whose career arc never quite aligned with conventional expectations. Anyone who watched the game in the late 1980s and through the 90s will remember him as a player capable of the extraordinary, regularly producing moments that left fans in awe. But for all his natural brilliance, two questions persist. Why did he never move to a bigger club? And why did his international career amount to only 8 England caps? To understand Le Tissier, you must first appreciate the depth of his loyalty to Southampton. It is easy to romanticize the idea of the one-club man in an era when footballers are often regarded as mercenaries, chasing paychecks and trophies at all costs. Le Tissier's decision to remain with Southampton throughout his entire career, however, was not born of stubbornness or a lack of ambition, but of personal contentment. He simply didn't see the need to uproot his life when he was enjoying his football and, crucially, playing the game the way he wanted to. The offers were there, of course. Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea. Le Tissier's name was constantly linked with the elite clubs of the time. Early in his career, he came very close to joining Spurs after winning the PFA Young Player of the Year award. But as he has explained many times since, the timing never felt quite right. Marriage, family, and a general disinterest in long-term planning all played a role in his decision to stay put. While the financial rewards of moving would have been significant, especially in an era when wages weren't yet spiraling out of control, the jump from £2,500 a week at Southampton to £10,000 elsewhere simply wasn't enough to tempt him. In modern football, where wage differentials between the top and bottom half of the table are staggering, this kind of loyalty seems almost inconceivable. But Le Tissier's loyalty wasn't just about money. It was also about the role he played at Southampton. He relished being the focal point, the man his team turned to in moments of need. At a bigger club, he feared being swallowed up by the machine, just another cog in a well-oiled system designed to grind out trophies. At Southampton, he was the magician with the wand of a right foot, producing audacious, physics-defying goals that defied logic. The pressure of carrying a relegation-threatened team was something he enjoyed, in stark contrast to what might have been expected at a club like Chelsea or Liverpool, where he would have been one of many stars. The other side of the Matt Le Tissier enigma is his underwhelming international career. Just 8 caps for England, despite the near-universal recognition of his talent, remains one of the great curiosities of 1990s football. The reality is that Le Tissier was not the kind of player England managers were comfortable with at the time. The national side preferred workhorses, men who could press and harry their opponents, often to the exclusion of flair. Le Tissier, by contrast, was a player who thrived on freedom. His game was built on creativity and intuition, not on pressing defenders and tracking back. And so, he was regularly overlooked in favour of players who fit more neatly into the tactical systems of the day. There was also the small matter of Paul Gascoigne, the mercurial playmaker around whom much of England's creativity was built in the 1990s. It is often said that had Le Tissier played in a different era, he would have been the fulcrum of the national team. Yet, even during his prime, there were numerous occasions where his skill set could have been the difference maker for England in tournaments such as Euro '96 or the 1998 World Cup. Still, England managers of the time seemed to favour the safe option, valuing work ethic over flair, a decision that Le Tissier has long lamented. Indeed, he was never one to disguise his frustration with the system. It rankled him to see players with a fraction of the ability pulling on the England shirt while he stayed at home. There was an unfair stigma attached to playing for a team like Southampton, which was constantly battling relegation. If Le Tissier had been playing for Manchester United or Liverpool, he believes he would have been selected far more frequently for England. In an era when club allegiances played a significant role in national team selection, it seems his Southampton connection hurt his chances on the international stage, despite his consistent brilliance. Looking back, Le Tissier has no regrets. He is content with the choices he made, even if it meant sacrificing the chance to win trophies or boost his international credentials. He often speaks about the joy he took from playing his brand of football at Southampton, free from the tactical constraints that might have come with a move to a bigger club. He valued his personal happiness and the ability to express himself on the pitch above all else, and that is something few players in today's game can say. Tissier's story is one of football's great what-ifs. What if he had moved to a bigger club? What if England had built their team around him? Yet, in a way, these questions miss the point. For all the speculation, Tissier remains an icon precisely because he stayed true to himself. He may not have the silverware to back up his talent, but he has something far more rare: the unshakable respect of those who witnessed his genius firsthand. And in the end, that may be worth more than any medal.